Have you ever wondered about the aims and objectives of Phantom Liberty, or why Solomon Reed was betrayed by Songbird in the trailer? Look no further. In this analysis, I'll channel my inner Light Yagami to deduce what we can expect from Phantom Liberty, covering everything from the characters and enemies to the overall storyline. Firstly, let's begin with Songbird. My theory is that Songbird is a very special top tier netrunner slash hacker, probably on par with Spider Murphy, Rache Bartmoss, or even better. She's likely hacked corporations like Arasaka, Biotechnica, Petrochem, and Millitech. I also think the reason we see the red glow fragment surrounding her that is similar to Johnny's is because she hacked into V, or at the very least there was an exploit in the relic's malfunction and she knew about it to enter V's system. Let me give an example. When meeting Placide, he makes you jack into Reza Agwe, the VDB's firewall. This is why he can see, hear, and know personal things about V, such as Victor being his Ripperdoc and the type of chrome V has. I think Songbird is on the same level but amped up with steroids and Netrunner Gatorade, allowing V to see a digitized version of her. Based on this information, Songbird will be able to see and hear everything V does. Additionally, she will also know the existence of Johnny and knows V's special due to the relic and his skills, hence why she chose V as her vessel. As we all know, V by the end of the game is very intelligent because of the interconnectedness of both minds. Johnny's experiences are V's and V's experiences are Johnny's. However, V is very naive when it comes to self-preservation. He's often too trusting of others, which may come back to haunt him later in the expansion. Songbird knows Johnny is also V's pessimistic compass, so she may hack or disable Johnny so that she can speak to V without interference. Songbird might dangle something in front of him to gain his trust.
The cure.
V, as we all know, cares the most about living, and is doing anything to get rid of the biochip without losing his life in the process. Could Songbird use that as leverage to make V do something dangerous or lead him into a huge political predicament? I believe it will be the popular saying, "I'll help you if you help me" scenario. However, if Songbird does hack V, what will happen to Johnny? Will she nullify his presence or silence him? Based on the recent trailer, we see Songbird betraying Reed, which already puts her in a bad light. Although, I strongly believe this is a red herring due to the lack of context. The expansion will definitely show us a flashback to the events that happened 7 years ago on the train regarding Songbird and Solomon Reed. Because here is how I see it. If Songbird is evil, V will have the left and right shoulder symbolism used in religion. So Johnny would be on his right, who's been with V from the beginning, cares about V to some degree, tells V to avoid certain people for their safety, and distrusts Songbird. And Songbird will be on V's left shoulder, whispering in his brain that she can save him, but he must do something for her, and she doesn't really care about V, since she barely knows him. V would just be considered a means to an end, and she's only interested in V because of his skills and the relic, which she can use to establish contact. She also dislikes Silverhand, as he's a conflict to her goals and objectives. Moreover, Songbird will be greatly involved in guiding V throughout the expansion, just as Johnny guided V throughout the base game to take down Arasaka and save his life. Songbird will guide V to locate President Myers and convince him to save her when the AV crashes. Although, I don't believe the crash was coincidental, but most likely an assassination attempt of some sort caused by Kurt Hansen or some other entity was involved. V, of course, will only accept this mission by Songbird for two reasons, as he's a mercenary: either payment in eddies, or to separate himself and Johnny without losing his life in the process. Furthermore, I think in the expansion we will discover a lot about Songbird, such as her backstory, motivations, intentions, and whether she's an ally or a threat. So far, we know her name is Song So-mi and that she's of Korean descent, and an NUSA intelligence analyst who's considered to be a highly talented netrunner with special abilities, hence Myers' interest in her. We also know that Reed has a soft spot for So-mi, as he was her mentor and she was trained personally by him. However, if So-mi is guiding V and is Myers' right hand, why wasn't she in the same AV as her when it crashed? Did she somehow know of the assassination attempt on Myers and fled to save herself in order to go rogue? Or perhaps she was the original assassination target and not Maya's. Or did she luckily escape with an emergency pod, but somehow got stuck or captured and is using her skills to direct V to her? Only time will tell, my chooms. Subsequently, other characters and enemies have presented themselves from the trailer, such as the Barghest, which is an opposing private military army and the main faction in Dogtown, with most of its rank being derived from ex-Millitech members, and its leader being comprised of the Warlord or guerrilla leader of Dogtown, whom I believe to be Colonel Kurt Hansen. This makes sense because most of the residents in Dogtown fled there due to the events of the Unification War to avoid genocide. A lack of government usually means some tyrant or warlord will rise to power and play politician. I believe this faction had a hand in Maya's AV crashing. If you were a warlord of Dogtown, what would be the best solution to this opportunity? The answer to this is kidnapping a president who would offer you major leverage, or assassinating her to claim her position for yourself. In addition, we also know the scavengers' home turf is in Dogtown, so we'll see an increase in their presence too. We also have Alina Xenakis, or Alex, a BD actress recruited by Solomon Reed with excellent communication skills, which led to her joining covert operations and making use of her shapeshifter abilities, which is the disguises we see her using. I also believe Alex is one of Reed's proteges, and he too cares about her to a certain extent. Another boss we will encounter to save President Myers is a Chimera, which is a massive quadruped, robot or drone, equipped with turrets that can unleash devastating energy beams. Now let's talk about Solomon Reed. He seems like a higher up working for the FIA and reports to Myers. He's also known as a sleeper agent, which sounds like the FBI in the Cyberpunk universe. He or his organization probably specializes in espionage, countering terrorist threats, and protecting Myers and the NUSA in general. My theory is that Solomon Reed is likely a spy and a double agent, loyal only to Myers, but might have been working for Arasaka and the NUSA. Maybe when undercover, Arasaka figured he was a mole, and that's why they ambushed him on the train. Nonetheless, he definitely played a major role in the events that took place 7 years ago, and his scene of him being captured or attacked might indicate he went rogue or committed treason. Perhaps Reed was instructed by Myers to take the fall for the greater good, or might have been scapegoated. In addition, Solomon Reed is probably an agent with extensive experience and will work with V throughout the expansion. Based on the trailer, Myers refers V to Reed, and Reed and V will then work together to find Songbird. My theory is that in Cyberpunk, trust is always a central theme, and those who place too much trust often get betrayed, as we saw in Edgerunners. Solomon Reed, however, shouldn't be trusted, no matter how charismatic, cool, or enigmatic he is. It's like Johnny's line here.
How many times you gotta take a bullet for these motherfuckers in the name of empty promises?
If Johnny tells you not to trust people in the military or secret services, he probably has a damn good reason, and Solomon Reed might backstab you. I strongly believe the scope of this expansion will be laid out like this. V will get hacked by Songbird. Johnny would show resistance towards Songbird. Songbird deactivates or incapacitates Johnny so that she would have an easier time communicating with V. Songbird would then strike a deal with V, you help me and I'll help you, which would be to cure V's illness. Songbird would then instruct V on how to enter Dogtown, locate Myers' crashed AV, help and protect her at all costs. Once that has been established, Myers will instruct V to seek out Solomon Reed, as he most likely knows the best method in finding Songbird. V and Reed will then work together to locate and capture Songbird. That is, if she did go rogue and committed treason. At the same time, Kurt Hansen and his Barghest troops will do whatever they can in their power to stop all of this from happening, even if it means flatlining V, Myers, and anyone else who opposes their goals. In addition, Reed and V will probably seek the help of Alex, as she was most likely Reed's protege as well. With her shapeshifting abilities and other various skills, it'd make the mission much easier. So to conclude, V will find the cure in the ending, and this ending will most likely be canon for the future games. V will either have to kill or befriend Solomon Reed based on your choices. Johnny Silverhand will most likely have the least amount of screen time, since the base game is more revolved around Johnny's storyline. Songbird is Myers' right-hand man, but not because of friendship and loyalty, but her abilities. V and Songbird will most likely be fugitives and have to choose a side. either to side with Songbird or to side with Reed. V will most likely have a conflict of interest here, as he'll turn to Songbird in hopes of a cure. There is more to Myers than meets the eye. All politicians are corrupt in their own ways, so I think she has ulterior motives and is using Songbird to carry out her plans. Finally, I think in this expansion we'll know more about the Black Hole. Once again, this is all a predictive analysis. I could be right, almost right, or entirely wrong. Thanks for watching, Mercs, and see you all in Dogtown.